My name is Grace Agada. 9 years ago, I came to Lagos for the third time. The first time was when I finished my secondary school education. The second time was when I came for my industrial attachment. And the third time was when I came after my NYSC. The first time, I came in just from school. Now, I lost my parents very early. My mom at age 3 and my dad at age 9. So life was pretty difficult. And so I had uncles and aunties help me through school. And when I was done with secondary school, everybody said they could not help me go further. So my auntie here in Lagos asked me to come and spend the holiday. My auntie was a trader. I started trading. There was nothing wrong about this trade except for the fact that I had to literally carry the products on my head. So I was basically going to hawk. I was hawking around Lagos, Diola, Deku, Babbage and everything. We sold everything from oranges to groundnuts to bananas. And it was the 2 years of my life that was really long and painful. People have started telling me, Grace, this is not you. You should go back to school. And you see, in life, as you move on your journey, God will position people that will always remind you that you are not where you're supposed to be. So I met this man this day and he told me, young lady, you need to get back to school. In my heart, I only wish he knew how desperate I was to go back to school, but there was no means. So I was coming home that day and then I saw an advert, a receptionist, something like that, at Mega Plaza then in VI. So I said, okay, maybe I could apply for this job and this could be better off than what I was doing. So in my innocence, I had my tray on one hand and, you know, this cloth that you put on your head before you take the tray on the other hand. And I walked into Mega Plaza and I saw the manager and I said, hey, I would like to be the receptionist here. He looked at me with some sort of surprise and he said, okay, you know what? Let me show you around. And I was happy. I thought, okay, maybe this will work. So he showed me around the shop, took me to places where you have the TV, the fridges and all, and showed me the price tag. He was particular about the price tag. I didn't know what he was doing. And when we're done, he sent me off to the door and he said, young lady, what we sell here are high ticket items. And I'm not sure you'll be able to handle that. Maybe when you go to school and you are educated enough, you can come again and we can consider you. That day, I went out of that door with my head bowed. It was as if I was taken to the ground floor of my life. I told myself that day that I will be wealthy one day. And that was when the seed of wealth was sown in me. So fast forward, I went back, finished school, and I came back for IT. And I went back for NYC and then I came back to store time. And it was time to look for a job. So, like every typical graduate, there was no job anywhere. So I had to make do with what I could find. The first job I did was with an insurance company. And it wasn't really a job. It just simply says that you go out there and look for people to buy a product. Once you're successful, we'll pay you. So I basically did not have a salary. So that day I was coming back and I thought, okay, let me just branch and see. It was a Thursday to see if there is something in the papers for me. And lo and behold, there was a vacancy. And this vacancy was being advertised by the company where I did my IT. So I applied and long story short, I got the job. I had 3 months to get myself together and to get a house that I can live on my own. It was one of the painful moments of my life. Unfortunately, they would give a housing allowance, but they will only give people that have spent up to a year. And I was just 2 months old. But I still went there and I pleaded with the HR. It took a while, but he agreed and I was paid the money. But even at that, the money was still not enough. I told myself that I don't want to go through this kind of pain for the rest of my life. There has to be a way that I could pay rent easily without stress. So that seed was sown. After 2 years, I saw that I was no longer deriving pleasure from the job. I needed something more. I needed something more challenging. And so in my quest, I started looking for answer. And like the quote will say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Lo and behold, a colleague of mine just bought a new laptop and we were congratulating her. And on the laptop, I saw this collection of books from Brian Tracy. And I am particularly attracted with good titles. So I saw this title, Eat That Frog First. And I said, wow, eat that big frog. What does this mean? Let me find out what this is all about. So I took the books, there were time management and all of the books in it, and I started reading. And for the first time, it was as if someone knew my story and was writing what I was going through just in front of me. I saw myself being explained in the book, and I saw how I could get out. So I started applying everything that I was learning in the book, one after the other, in my job and in my personal life. My boss even noticed that I was becoming more productive, so he gave me more job functions. My mentor will always say that, Grace, you may not know what you want, but you definitely know what you don't want. So start with those ones, eliminate those ones first, and be left with the things that you want, and begin to put in action, practice and test those things that you want, and over time you will narrow down to those things that you're really passionate about. And that was what I did here. So I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to give myself 2 years and I'm going to go out there to find out what the world has for me. And it was the best decision of my life. I went there and there was so much opportunities that I could handle. I mean, I got managerial position. I had the opportunity to travel to 5 countries, and it gave me so much exposure that gave me velocity on this journey of wealth. I used to really look forward to successful people to tell me how I can be successful. And most time when I listen to people on TV and on radio and people ask them, so how did you make it? I hear a lot of stuff like, it's God. We really thank God. It's all God. I can't say I did it myself. And I used to wonder those days, okay, does it mean I don't know God? Does it mean there's some particular set of people that God just do stuff for? And I told myself that if I ever will be successful, I will make people understand the steps that I took to get me to where I am today. And that's exactly what I've been able to tell you. Now, I do not argue the fact that God do exist, and in fact, without him, I would not be here today. Today, I own a business. It's a real estate business, so I'm helping other people also acquire investment property and gradually move away from that pain and stress of permanently being tied to that destiny of paying rent forever. So I encourage you, if you're out there and you're going through stuff, you're confused about life, you don't know what to do, just go out there. Go to Google. Google is my friend. There are thousands of people out there that are like you, that are passionate like you, and that will motivate you. Never surround yourself with people that will demotivate you. It will kill your dream. Go out there, find those people, connect with them, read books, take action, and find mentors, and the sky will just be your starting point. So I'm Grace Agada, and I am determined to be wealthy. I hope you are too. This is my story.
Become one of us by clicking the subscribe button or follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for more interesting stories.